Hello, everybody, and welcome to the VCT but not match of the day. It is 100 Thieves versus Shopify Rebellion. I'm your host for today, Matthias, also known as Matthias, and I'm joined by my lovely analysts here, Noah and Tommaso. How are you doing today, Tommaso?
Oh, I'm so excited to be here, Matthias. What about you, Noah?
I'm doing great, man. We got a good matchup ahead of us. A lot of great teams. I'm excited for this tournament.
I'm super excited. This is one of the most anticipated matches of the season. I'm just so looking forward to what we're going to be able to see coming up very, very soon. But before we get to that, let's take a look at the bracket. Let's see how we got to this point.
Yeah, we are at the final game of this tournament, and Shopify came up with a crazy win against the first seed M80, and they are now facing 100 Thieves that are looking really good after a 2-0 sweep against OG.
Yeah, really strong win for 100 Thieves in that first round. 2-0. It's got to be heartbreaking for OG, no?
Yeah, OG really struggled there. They were looking to do pretty good this season, but it all just kind of fell apart. 100 Thieves really knows how to get in there and break up the mental. And Shopify, with a bit of an upset against M80, they're definitely looking to be the favorites going in. But I got to go back to 100 Thieves. They've had an amazing run this season, and I think that's due in part to their lineup. So let's take a look at the 100 Thieves lineup.
We have some crazy players here. Of course, we have the best player on the team, Jazzy Keynes, and probably even the best player in the tournament.
Maybe, most likely. But followed by Jazzykins, we've got Yogi, Maple Cakes, Govi, and Mimikyu. I like that name a lot. Mimikyu resonates with me as a Pokemon fan.
That's a great name. I definitely agree there. And I think, talking to this team, they had a lot of cohesion and a lot of game plans. But we'll get into that very soon. Before we get into that, let's talk about Shopify Rebellion's lineup as well, because they have a very, very strong lineup as well. They're a little bit more eclectic, as you can tell here. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
Definitely. You got DND, Evan, Asphalt, Blend W, and J Will. Solid lineup, but I don't think it's as solid as 100 Thieves.
I think they have more all the players are more at the same level here, and probably maybe I like more Haven though than the rest of the players, but I think they are probably at the same level.
I definitely agree with you there. And just to get into this team a bit more, they definitely are at the same level. They're all very high skill players. They're all about the same level. I think the thing that 100 Thieves has going for them is they have Jazzykins. They have that star player, that ace in the hole that they can play whenever they need it. And just talking about them, they have so many strats going on that it's going to be amazing. Let's take a look at the head-to-head. Let's compare some raw stats between Jazzykins and D&D. These are the star players from each teams.
As we could see here, Jazzykins starting off with 17 kills, 7 deaths, 3 assists, a very huge fragger with a KD at 2.43 compared to D&D, also very strong in that fragging aspect. Just a go-getter, really. Very aggressive players here.
Yeah, Jazzy Keynes is of course the star player of the team. Is really good. She has been putting good stats all around the tournament, and D&D on the other side is probably the player that is supposed to be at that level, more closer between the roster of Shopify. And what can I say is he's my daddy.
Okay. That's a statement and a half, but I know someone else who's shaking up this parentage. They're not just the dad of those. They're the grandpappy. They are the leader. They're the patriarch, matriarch, whatever you want to call them. It is Jazzykins. So let's take a look on the journey Jazzykins took to get here.
Yeah, they would always call me the prodigy, and yeah, they weren't wrong, I guess.
For one another, that operator ringing through. The dash online. Jazzy once more Jazzykins has got it.
My name is Jasmine Mankill, and I play for the varsity Valorant team. I started gaming when I was like 6 years old. I started playing on the PSP, and then I eventually got into console games like the Xbox 360, and I was playing a lot of like shooter games like Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, Halo, all those shooter games. And then eventually, when I was around 11 years old, I got my first PC, and that's when I started playing a game called Counter-Strike. And ever since then, I've been heavily into FPS games, just growing up throughout my entire life. Playing video games has always been a big part of my life, and my brother heavily influenced that on me, especially growing up. And I feel like during that time, you don't really see a lot of girls playing video games, so definitely a brother impact. I would say I'd figure I was pretty good when I started playing Counter-Strike. The outside league like ESEA, I hit advance with the team. No one at 14 years old, especially a girl, never hit advanced, which is like right underneath semi-pro level. When I first started playing Valorant, it happened back in 2020. At the time, I was still playing Counter-Strike, and my friends were like telling me to hop on Valorant, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do the hype train. Like, I don't want to hop on the hype train and like play Valorant. And then just one day, they were playing 10-mans, and then I decided, okay, I'll launch the game. And ever since then, I've been hooked. One of my old friends from CS, Melanji, she asked me to join her team, so I'm like, sure, why not, right? We decided to hop to play this first ever women's tournament, which was called FTW Summer Showdown. We were practicing, if not maybe like 3-5 times a week. We won FTW Summer Showdown, and after that, we got scouted by Cloud9, and ever since then, that's when my Valorant career kind of popped off.
Cloud9 awaits their destiny predetermined. Another match against Shopify Rebels.
Always like remember having those boot camps together, spending time together. I think it was always really fun, and I wish we just did it more, honestly. We had a lot of funny moments during the time in Cloud9, so I love those girls to death. I had to sacrifice a lot, honestly. Like, it definitely affected my grades a lot. Practicing every day, 5 days a week, is really draining. You know, I gotta go to school and then go straight to practice for like 6 hours, 7 hours.
That's gonna be it. Shopify Rebellion eliminate Cloud9 White.
Losing in Berlin while still on Cloud9, I think losing that world championship hurt a lot, just because I know that as a team we could have done way better. I think my time at Complexity was very short. It was a short run. It was only about a year, but a lot of great people, a lot of great teammates. Just unfortunately, we didn't have the run we wanted that year. So, and that's kind of when a recession started to happen in Valorant. A lot of orgs started pulling out, and sadly, Complexity was one of them. Yeah, there was like a year period when I wasn't really competing in the scene. Basically, right after that, I started looking into collegiate, and I think I wanted to start school and just start like some sort of career happening for me just in the future. My first year at Keanu was, I think we did pretty good. Besides that, I think the second semester we didn't play at all because we didn't have a fifth. That's okay, because I feel like that year was just more of a learning year for me. And then I think in terms of St. Clair, we're still I would say we're a fairly new team. So I know like Instinct and Tillo have been on this team for a while. So like they are the two main people that do keep this team together. I haven't really won anything in collegiate so far, so I think that would be a huge step for me. For Division 1, it's a very new league, so it'd be pretty cool to win the first ever Division 1 league. When I got signed to 100 Thieves, it was honestly like an eye-opener, because I haven't gotten signed at this point for maybe two years now. Definitely, I want to take that trophy in Game Changers Worlds tournament. Like, that's the biggest thing for me. Like, should have happened on Cloud9. It could still happen now. So, Game Changers has started up my career. So it's something I want to achieve. I feel like it should keep being a thing for women to have that courage to compete in video games and be that stepping stone for women in esports. So I don't think I'm washed. Like, even if I am like 30, I think I can still be the greatest. Like, come on, like there's a lot of like 30-year-olds out there that are still professional and they're still killing it out there. So I think it's something I can do too. But I don't know. I think it's different because I've always grown up playing video games. That I feel like it'll just always be a part of me. I don't think I'll ever get watched. I think I'll grow brain bigger than any of these guys, and I'll own them in any game that comes out still. So yeah.
Man, that is inspiring, and that is a lot of confidence going into this game. There's a lot to prove. There's a lot on the line. So let's make some prediction, guys. We know that there's a lot going for 100 Thieves, but the run from Shopify Rebellion has been absolutely amazing. I mean, it's hard. I mean, it could be a coin flip for some people, but I think I have my prediction settled. Do you guys have your prediction settled?
I do.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to go with 100 Thieves. I don't know if these guys on the desk agree with me, but I'm going with 100 Thieves.
All right, fair assumption. I mean, I personally, very inspiring piece, but I'm still sticking with Shopify Rebellion. They've been there. They've been on a roll recently.
I mean, Jazzy King's, like, her story is so inspiring, but I also see Shopify Rebellions as winners. I think they have like a more consistent roster, and they got a lot of momentum now after they beat M80. So I think they are gonna take the W.
I mean, we have our predictions, but they're only good as forecasts. We're just weathermen in this scenario. The real battle has yet to be proved, but it's going to be proved very, very soon. And luckily, it's not going to have to be commentated by us. We're just the analysts. We have real casters waiting on the desk for us before we get in the game. So why don't you go meet those guys? Let's throw it over to Hayden King and Jacob Bain.
Thank you, Matthias. What a great death segment. Those three have unmatchable chemistry. I'm here with Jacob. How are you today, Jacob?
I'm feeling great. You know, one of the biggest rivalries in esports, and it's going to be a banger of a game today. You know, this game's not going to start from round 3, not round 2, not even round 1. This game is going to start as soon as this ban phase. Players are already thinking about their first step in this game.
Yeah, both of these teams, they have a deep map pool. We're here for a best of 1, so the bans are going to come in as we take a look at 100 Thieves and Shopify Rebellion's bans. 100 Thieves going with the Ascent, Sunset, and Abyss ban. Meanwhile, Shopify Rebellion banning out Bind, Haven, and Corrode. That leaves us, Jacob, with Lotus.
You know, Lotus, such a technical map, and I feel like flashes, routes, smokes, everything is going to be important. Everything has to be taken into consideration by these two teams.
Yeah, I think Lotus is a really crucial map when it comes to flank watches, right? With 3 sites, there's too much to manage for some teams, but as we head into Agent Select, that is where the nitty-gritty comes in. Both of these teams, like you said, analyzing each other's games, and when it comes down to it, they're going to have to figure out, how to counter each of those agents. Well, as we head into our match, we can see our agents being selected from both sides. We see the Neon potentially being locked in. That is a interesting pick from my opinion. A very fast and agile champion or agent, as 100 Thieves locks in their Viper. Looks like Shopify Rebellion is a bit more confident as they lock in most of their agents pretty early.
Yeah, and again, that Neon, I feel like it can be crucial if a team does not watch their flank.
Yeah, for sure. Neon can definitely punish with those quick rotates. And we see Jazzykins going with All Reliable, going with Omen as we head into Lotus here, our one and only map for this series. We have 100 Thieves, we have Shopify Rebellion, and We are here on Lotus. Jacob,
Yep.
it is going to be an interesting one. Defenders, I think they're on the back foot here. The attackers, they definitely have the advantage with 3 sites, a lot of room to pick from.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to be going for an A push here. Oh, seems they're rotating back over to C. You can see the Killjoy with the bomb right now. Maple Cakes. You can see those early flashes, early setups, early lineups from both these teams. Trying to predict where the other's going to go. You know, I feel this weak spot on this team right now is B, but it seems they are going to get a good lock on having 2 at C. The Neon might run into a whole team though here. As we can see them slowly peeking the corner. Neon gets one.
A beautiful opening pick right there from Asphalt onto Goovy. Open up the kill feed pretty early here in round number 1. They have taken this mountain position though. They are looking towards the C site. Meanwhile, J-Will just making sure, just checking, finds Jazzykins right out in B. That's good information though. That's gonna signal to those C players that they may have pushed off and they're gonna head towards A with the spike.
Yeah, looks like an engagement coming here. Oh! One shot, headshot. DND here. Oh, DND gets 2. Oh, he goes down though.
Scanning ahead.
So the good trade there, finds a second one.
Nice.
And now we're
Looks
into
like another engagement here.
We are into a 3v2 scenario.
2v1
Another
right
engagement.
now.
Oh my goodness, Asphalt, a second kill on this round as well. It leaves it all up to Maple Cakes.
Yep. Maple Cakes rotating around slowly. May run into the
30
Sova
seconds
here.
left.
26 seconds left on the clock right now.
It's a
She
free site.
needs to get this bomb down. No one seems to be there though. Seem to have rotated a bit too slow, and he is gonna get this plant down. Oh, he fakes.
10
Maybe thought that
seconds
there was
left.
pressure coming in. 10 seconds now. The time is ticking. Needs to find a kill. Does find one. Onto Melon. J-Will close by. No time left for the spike. And just like that, Shopify Rebellion take the first round.
And you can see the frustration from these players as we get into round 2 here. He almost had that. You know, if he would have stuck that plant, maybe he could have got this round in the bag.
Yeah, you go into a post-plant situation that, you know, puts some onus onto those defenders to really execute into that site quickly, right? With only 40 seconds left until that spike goes down, especially in a man advantage, it gives you a ton of, you know, pressure. But unfortunately for Maple Cakes, not able to get the job done. 3 kills though, that's a good start, but
Great
not able
start.
to follow it up with a round win as we head into round number 2.
Looks like they're going for a mid push here. See Flash is going out. Oh, first pick. Goes to the smoke. Doesn't manage to get anyone. But you see a 2-piece from Chungus Life here.
Trying to find any roaming defenders. That Neon is creeping towards the B site. Just trying to make sure no one's flanking. Maple Cakes gets the spike down. Now it is a fight on B. D&D finds one with the Outlaw. Can't find the second, but not really Evan. Finds one onto Mimikyu. And Melon also finds one, finds 2 onto Goovy. And just like that, Shopify Rebellion wiped the floor in round number 2. The defuse is coming in. It's just a matter of who wants to get the final tick.
Again, they did manage to get that plant down this round, but they didn't cover all their angles, you know. You got to watch every angle on these sites.
Yeah, it's important, especially on a map that has so many different entry points, right? And you're planning in that middle, you have a ton of different, you know, opportunities or flank watches, I would say, that you need to take care of, as we saw there. Jazzykins trying to get through the smoke, unable to find one.
Especially with an operator as quick as Neon. You got to be super careful in these situations.
Heavy A presence going into round number 3.
Still do have a little bit of a split here, though.
Seems that Shopify is kind of aware. 3 players already here as Asphalt opens up the scoring onto Yugi. Shopify, a good knowledge of 100 Thieves game plan, clearly doing their homework. D&D, another one onto Maple Cakes. Just waiting waiting patiently,
Nice
waiting for a peek.
communication there.
100 Thieves now, they've kind of locked themselves into this A-hole. The entire lobby is here on this A side. Another one through the wall for DND. And now it is really 100 Thieves to lose as he goes over the edge. Can't find another one. That's Jazzykins with a triple, but Asphalt with the neon slides in. Look, just like you said, Jacob, super quick, super agile, finds 2 to secure in round number 3.
Again, can be a game changer at times, but can also be a hindrance. But when he has that neon with him, it's never a hindrance, it seems.
Here comes the replay. DND with a couple huge picks with that outlaw. This would have been a true game changer right there. A headshot, but not able to follow it up.
As we go into round 3 here,
We can't keep doing the same
gotta see some changes with these two teams. You know, one's dominating the other. There has to be a switch.
100 Thieves knows that they are definitely on the back foot here. Like we had mentioned right before the match had started, the attackers have the advantage here.
Jesus, feeds through the smoke there.
Nice shot. Brought down to 86 HP. Really low buy on the side of 100 Thieves.
Yeah, I feel like they overspended in the earlier rounds here. Overextended a little bit.
Looks like a lot of action once again towards A. Couple of creeping moments. Scooby finds one onto Asphalt. That's an important pick early on. Brings Shopify Rebellion into an uncomfortable 4v5 situation. A ton of space being taken here by Yugi on the B site. They're going to rotate. They're going to rotate out.
He's already cleared this B site for them.
Just
This
waiting
could
for
be
the
an
rest of the
easy
site.
Oh, what a pick. One shot, one kill.
Plant is going down.
Placing
Once
swarm
again.
grenade.
Shopify Rebellion has to retake.
Placing swarm
Plenty of opportunity
there. Don't miss me,
for them
Cupart.
to retake this site. They have the weapons to do it. Here comes the util from DND. The ult goes in. Able to recall back out. Good information. Finds the omen. Please TP.
Last player standing.
Jazzykins with the double. Now, the time is really coming down. DND finds one. Can he clear the second? Finds the second onto Goovy. Can he find the third? Who's left? Unable to find it. Jazzykins secures the round for 100 Thieves.
And
Excited to say the least.
what a site setup, you know? We talked about earlier them not covering those angles and getting that bomb taken from them, but now they seem to have locked down the site, and we got a replay here where,
One enemy remaining. Be right back.
Some
dear
nasty
lord,
shots. Nasty shots from
No.
DND, but unable to capitalize and win the round. But that's good. 100 Thieves not backing down. They're able to, bring the fight back on offense like we had talked about. A really attacker-sided map.
seems to have wasted a little bit of util, but he does walk into it.
In the Phoenix ult, trying to gain any kind of information. Calls out a couple players, towards that east site. J-Will opens the scoring here in round number 5. A double for J-Will. Information is just being gathered at all times. J-Will with the triple. D&D on the flank. Finds Yugi. It is all left to Jazzykins in the 1v4. Thor is rotating. 87 HP. Can they fit together? Can they find him? Yes, they can. It is Evan with the kill onto Jazzykins, and another round for Shopify Rebellion.
You know, this is another huge round when, again, they're just getting outflanked. They're not watching their backs, and they just get mowed down from behind.
It's important that, you may have lost a couple rounds early. You can't tilt. You can't lose that energy that you brought into this game, right? We saw pregame. We saw all the hype for this team, 400 Thieves. A huge opportunity here to go up against one of the best in Shopify Rebellion. You need to rally early. Info gathered. Some shots being fired. Heavy C presence once again, but the
Also, a lot of
Shopify
presence on A,
Rebellion
too.
a lot of early movement. Asphalt finds one. Yugi follows up with another, and Goovy as well. That's going to clear out the majority of C site. Clove needs to find something, needs to information gather, ensure that 100 Thieves is not coming into the C site super quick.
Need a couple
You
more engagements here. Ooh, what a pick by D&D.
Nice shot to even the live count 3-3. The Killjoy ult coming in. It's not really gonna do a whole lot to slow down the defenders. They really haven't. They didn't even get to execute into the site.
They did not gain enough intel before using that ult, and it seems like it was just a waste.
A huge waste, but the spike does go down again. That's something that has been a constant with these two teams. 100 Thieves able to creep their way into a site. Now it's all about the retake. D&D trying to information gather as Evan finds one onto Yugi. Wing comes in, Maple Cakes finds one onto Evan. It's 2v2, J-Will makes it a 1v2 scenario once again for Maple Cakes on this C site, similar to round number 1. Another kill. Tries to find a second, he does! That's a third, but J-Will follows it up with the Cove ult. And just like that, the defuse will come in. Once again, Shopify Rebellion able to take that site in the retake opportunity.
You know, I do think they did better that time. You know, it was just unlucky that that one player went down, giving the other team an opportunity to get to that site. And here we see another replay of this amazing fight. No. Here's that one's engagement at the start. You know, he's been amazing with those headshots this game.
A lot of talent on both of these rosters. Really surprised by Maple Cakes' gameplay today. Just feels like every round, just having really, you know, crucial impact. Finding a couple frags here, finding a couple frags there. As 100 Thieves looks to take a timeout, looks to, you know, rally the troops, I would say, right?
Yeah,
Down early. You gotta find some words of inspiration for both of these teams.
And you gotta find a way to adapt because you're just getting blown out right now. And these engagements so far have not been completely one-sided, but it seems like a lot of players have been getting killed again with their back turned.
Yeah, I think the communication has been one thing. Maybe 100 Thieves has been lacking. Round number 7 on tap. A little bit of a, you know, kind of a lighter buy for 100 Thieves.
You see the minigun from Masova. You don't see that one every day.
You do not see the Odin very often in competitive Valorant, but it's a time to pull it out, right? You have a 4-round lead. You can try some new things. Why not? Exactly. Why not? Have some fun with it, right? Asphalt on this mount position again. That's good information. Once again, that's going to tell, you know, Shopify that, again, huge presence towards C.
And it seems they are covering this rotate a lot better, though, this time.
G&D with the early pick.
Ultimate is ready.
On to Mimikyu. It's going to deny 100 Thieves any space towards that A site. And now they execute onto the C site. Asphalt holding the line here with J-Will. Trying to find anything. The Sova ult coming in. Can't find anybody to spot out, but oh my goodness, Jazzykins threw the smoke onto Asphalt. Just a beautiful play as the spike once again gets planted for 100 Thieves.
No, Sova seems to be flanking. There. He's there.
Maple Cakes. Impact cannot be understated. Here is the Odin. Could it see some action? Melum tries to find something. Aware. TV has to be aware that they are on site with him. Maple Cakes finds a second in the round. It is all left up to the Odin here in round number 7, but can we find anything? No. Maple Cakes.
No.
Dominating.
Yeah, again, and with the Odin in a 1v2 situation, one close, one far, that is not a situation you want to be in, especially in a 1v2.
Yeah, low ammo as well, just kind of really a bad situation, right?
You could
put
say he
yourself into.
rushed the engagement just a little bit.
Yeah,
there.
just a little bit, as we head on into round number 8. 100 Thieves crawling back. That's their second round. You've got to make sure you can rally off a few in a row here to end this half. You need to ensure that, you know, Shopify Rebellion can't gain too much confidence. You don't want to let your opponents, you know, think it's going to be a steamroll. You have to show some fight. Have to show some effort here, especially on the attacking side. Not really Evan. Getting a bit too jumpy. That shows, you know, they were pretty confident here on this A site, but 100 Thieves executing with a flank coming in by D&D.
Yeah. Seems like they do have the whole team watching that flank, though.
Joke's over. You're dead.
Like gets him.
Last player standing.
Just like that, 100 Thieves wipes the board, and there is that second round in a row that we talked about. Can you build on this? Can you tie this up? Can you get close to tying this score? And when you go onto your defensive side, you need to understand, how to stop that, that presence that Shopify, or pardon me, Shopify has had all over the map.
Again, and you saw it earlier in the tournament. They have a lot of aggression when it comes to attacking these sites, and we are going to see how that plays out against a defensive team like 100 Thieves.
Both of these teams coming in with a full buy mostly. Couple Guardians on the field, D&D not able to find that opening pick. That has been something that 100 Thieves has excelled at these last couple rounds. Able to find the advantage early, find a site that they're comfortable with. Haven't seen a lot of B hits lately, but that's okay, as long as you can get the spike down and put that pressure onto Shopify Rebellion.
Seems like 100 Thieves is very slow to the rotate here. Bomb is going all the way back to A, though. They faked him out.
Nobody has any idea. The communication is not there this round for Shopify Rebellion. This is a free plant. A little bit of a, kind of a pre-fire on that Killjoy ult. Kind of gives away what site they might be on, just gives them a little bit of extra time. The ult comes in, Yugi with another kill onto Asphalt. 3v4 scenario now for Shopify Rebellion in this retake.
Shutting them down.
It seems like the Clove is trying to put a little bit of a flank on here. Viper's watching. Oh, we have an engagement here.
One
Seems
enemy
now.
remaining.
Good trades coming in from both sides. He finds one, and Yugi finds the third for 100 Thieves' fourth round. Third in a row.
Again, now that it's defense, it's a different game, and we got to see changes. We got to see some confidence. We got to see players like flanking and fragging out in these rounds.
Both of these teams fighting back and forth. Blow for blow. 5-4 is our score here as we head into round number 10.
Seems like it's going to be a hard A push here. Only one on site. Seems like the whole team of Shopify Rebellion, though, is flanking.
They're aware. They know that last round they got punished on this A site. They have to be cautious that they could be doing the same play, especially with no other noise, no other presence being made toward BNC. There it is. The whole team guns Evan down. They are going to rotate, though. This is a great play from 100 Thieves. Making that presence known on A, but quickly rotating to that B site. That is going to put the onus onto Shopify Rebellion once again. Jazzykins finds one. J-Will with a raid.
Again, he's been big with this Eagle. Let's see what he can do here.
One
Two.
enemy remaining.
Almost D&D couldn't find the second one. J-Will follows it up. It's all left up to Yugi.
Last player standing.
Uses the ult here.
A little bit of a waste.
A little bit of a waste.
Unfortunately, can't find any value out of it, but they did win the round. They have to
They
be
did.
happy about that. Good work right there from Shopify Rebellion on the retake.
Seems like Jazzy's not worried at all here, though.
As we head into the replay here, a nice tap from D&D. I really thought this was going to be the second kill. Just a little bit behind on where Yugi could be.
Again, you got to think that he's been so clean with that today and getting those headshots.
Yeah, D&D has really been a star for Shopify Rebellion, just like our guest talked about early on in the show. Round number 11 starts us off. Sova arrow, getting a little bit of information. Oh, it does reveal too. D&D again. The opening frag onto Jazzykins. There is that head-to-head that we have been talking about all stream.
Seems like they're not holding a tight enough angle on this while playing this very defensive map.
Welcome to my world. Spike down. C.
Alum finds one onto Yugi.
Like there might be a flank here.
Yeah, two players from Shopify Rebellion trying to close the gap here on 100 Thieves. spike has not been planted.
enemy remaining.
It's an all-out gunfight on the C site. Yugi with 2.
What a beautiful play.
Fake teleport.
One enemy remaining.
Fakes the teleport and manages to fake him out, putting him in a 1v1 situation here. Seems to be trying to fake that plant and bait that
Time
neon.
to jump.
Doesn't seem to know where he is though.
This is mind games. Mind games from both teams.
30 seconds left.
Not a lot of time for Yugi to figure out, what site is best to hit, but they TP out of that C site. That is going to leave Ash in an awkward situation. They're going to have to clear all of those angles, wary of where they could be at any time. Yugi is going to get the plant down. 14 seconds left on the clock. Now, Ash has to make sure that they don't rush this too quickly. You can't use that speed, use that agile nature of Neon to not clear those corners properly.
Especially with neon, it's so tempting to use that speed to your advantage, but it can backfire again.
Encroaching onto this A site. Time is not in their favor though. Yugi primed to win this round. 400 Thieves make this an interesting match. Ready for the tap. He's going to get on it. Finds the 4th. And just like that, 100 Thieves gets within 1. Jacob, we have an absolute heater on our hands.
Again, Jazzy wasn't worried that last round for a reason, Incredible play by him.
Put it in the hands of Yugi. Yugi will take it a mile. Interesting play from
I got the spike.
100 Thieves. Trying to get onto the site, but it feels like they've had that happen 2 or 3 times where they get onto a site, but they can't plant. They're refusing to plant on that site. They're kind of second guessing themselves.
Yeah, it could go down to strategy though, not knowing where those players are, using utility too early.
Who's
More
next?
information gathered for Mellum. Ultimate from DSD coming in. Can find 1. Does find 1. Finds a 2nd. Finds a 3rd. Beautiful work from D&D. It's like shooting targets. Yuki follows up 1 up. That's not really Evan. Now, Thieves in a 2v3 situation.
One enemy
Ultimate
remaining.
coming in. Mellum finds 1 onto Goovy. Now it's all left up to Yugi once again in the clutch, but Clove
Seems like-
is lurking.
Again,
I got the
Clove
spike.
not knowing where this player is. Agent right here with DND. Overshoots the Sova arrow, but she teleports back into it.
Good work from D&D right there.
What
Just
a
to clean
good
it up.
round.
Not letting Yugi get the chance again to clutch in that scenario.
No, again, so dangerous he can be.
He's shown us multiple rounds, time and time again. He can be relied on. This was the play of the game so far. A beautiful triple from D&D using that Waylay ultimate.
Again,
Finds huge value.
they gotta be risky here. They have nothing to lose right now being down.
Yeah, you have to play confident. Even though you're down, you have to understand that this game is still within reach.
Seem to have not hurt this team's motivation whatsoever.
So we swap sides now. Shopify Rebellion, what can you show us on attack? Especially on a map that is still heavily favored for you. A lot of presence towards this big site, exactly. Arrow comes in. Neon is just rushing into this site. Ash trying to find some value, finds the pick onto Jazzy with the shorty. This site is all Shopify Rebellions.
Again, we talked about this aggression that they can bring to the table with the shotgun kill.
One enemy remaining.
That's 2. Could he get 3? Gets. Oh, so close.
Gonna pull the knife out.
Oh, he manages to get taken down there at the last second. Runs out of ammo.
Good work from Shopify Rebellion there to set the pace of their attacking side, right? We saw it in that first half. 100 Thieves felt a little bit too passive, right? They weren't rushing in super quick. They were clearing their angles, clearing their sights. Here we can see the shotgun kills from Ashfall. This was a crazy angle. If I was Yugi, I would be a little tilted at that point, but unable to follow it up with the knife as we head on into round number 14.
Again, the aggression of the Shopify team is on a different level.
Shows that they've done their homework, shows that they are ready and able.
There.
Seem to be pushing the same site yet again.
Not a lot of noise this time. Very different round compared to that first.
Seems the team
Portal
might be
closed.
rotating right into another player, though.
Yugi is ready for them, but I don't think he's going to be ready for this firepower that they bring. A Phantom, a Bulldog, a couple Specters.
Again, though, if he can get a pick here, it would be huge. Doesn't manage to get it, though, as D&D gets the kill.
Always good for one. D&D puts 100 Thieves into a very, very difficult situation, trying to retake this site with only pistols to their names. Shopify Rebellion strengthening their lead, a second one for D&D. Look at all the space that he's taking into that defender spawn. Finds a third. He is on for the ace. Ashfall trying to steal it away. D&D though going for the knife. Can he find it? He does onto Maple Cakes. That's a fourth. And now it all is down to Mimikyu on this mound position.
Does seem to be getting a good flank here, though. As the whole team is not watching it. Oh, J-Wall turns.
Aware now. The whole
Might
team needs to
be-
rally together.
Doesn't have enough time, though.
Doesn't have enough time, and D&D wraps that one up with an ace. A great round for D&D.
Again, Shopify doesn't seem to be buying a lot right now.
No, they are not dying to these pistols. That is the crucial part, right? They're staying alive in these rounds. That's building up a great economy. 100 Thieves.
Feel like
They have something going on here. A little bit of action from Outlaw, the Bulldog.
a little bit of a unique buy from this 100 Thieves team right now.
Yeah.
As we see the Bulldog coming out.
I like the Outlaw and Maple Cakes, though. Maple Cakes has been their biggest X factor so far here in this match. Shopify Rebellion looking to take
There.
their round count into the double digits. Asphalt aware, somebody in this connector position. 100 Thieves, though, they need to understand that the picks need to come early for them. Can't find it there. Mellum
Time to jump.
finds the first one from Shopify Rebellion.
Yeah. And again, that turret watching on top, that is a great placement right there. Covering the plant.
Asphalt finds one onto Yugi. Shopify Rebellion now have full control over this site. 4 left alive. Heaven is aware that they could be creeping through this defender spawn. Could find one onto Jazzykins. Will they check? Will they find Evan? Crouch down. They will.
Last player
Trying to go for the
standing.
gun, but D&D makes them pay, and J-Will follows it up. Double digits for Shopify Rebellion. They are 3 rounds away from taking this.
And again, that aggression coming in key, taking site early, it just turns into a defensive game for this team after they get that bomb planted.
Really good post-plant plays from Shopify Rebellion right there.
And you know, there was one question I had. What was with the SMG last round?
Well, Jazzykins made it work, but unfortunately unable to execute that into a round win. But we head into round number 16 now. Shopify Rebellion at a full buy. And 100
There they
Thieves
are.
trying to equalize it as well with a couple of rifles of their own.
And we see the site switch here.
There.
As they're playing very passive right now, almost defensive. But 100 Thieves seems to be pushing up on them.
Asphalt does a huge task on their hands as they find one. Meanwhile, Shopify Rebellion executes onto the site. Mimikyu with the trade onto Ash. Taking space onto this site. J-Will on the plant. The bomb, or the spike, pardon me, as Evan into 3 players. Unaware that the majority of 100 Thieves roster is waiting on that C4 position. Mimikyu finds another one onto D&D. That's a third for Mimikyu. Can't follow it up as Mellum trades out. 1 HP now for Mellum. There is not much left they can do. 1 HP in a dream. Yugi cleans it up. 100 Thieves crawling back. That's round number 6 for them.
Again, these defensive rounds, anything can happen when you make that switch from attack to defense. This map, again, extremely defender-sided.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's important that Shopify Rebellion keep the pace that they have that they had, pardon me, in their first couple of rounds. They slowed it down right there. Yes, they got onto site. Yes, they got the bomb down, but I think by not overwhelming 100 Thieves, you allowed them to re-communicate, tell each other what was going on, what's going through their heads, how can we adapt to this, and that allowed them to creep in and a little bit of overextension from a couple players right there. Not really Evan and DND allowed 100 Thieves to take their sixth.
A lot of util being used right now.
Flashes and smoke floor. Asphalt trying to act like Batman and get back into that smoke. Mimikyu aware of them.
You'd wonder why the Neon didn't dash away there when she had the chance. Again, with a shotgun, there's not much you can do there unless the whole team pushes.
Definitely out of range. Here comes the flank, though. This is a huge play from Goovy.
Don't think they know.
They do not know, but he does have a judge in hand. Not a great weapon, pardon me, for long-range engagements, but just cautious that...
Huge arrow.
That is a huge arrow. That's going to reveal the flank. Going to have to back out. Now they know they're trapped in a box. Mimikyu finds one onto Melum. 100 Thieves 7. Phoebe, another one onto J-Will. Back and forth trades. Both of these teams. Mimikyu on for a 4K. And they find it. With the flash and Make making their presence known.
You know, early round win. They were trapped in a corner with that flank, but you know, they seem to have crawled their way back. That Sova arrow, so clutch.
Super clutch right there. Unfortunately, just, weren't able to get out of that box that they had kind of locked themselves into. Once again, we see Shopify Rebellion. They're slowing down. They're not taking the space that they need to. I think they're getting a little jumpy. They're so close to the finish line here. 3 rounds away. 100 Thieves has a comeback in them. That's 2 rounds in a row for them on the defending side. That's the first time they've done that.
Away from their trademark strategy, it seems.
Yeah, especially with all the speed on their team. DND, though, opens this one up.
They don't know he's there.
Yugi's in a great position. Finds one. Finds two. Tries to find a third. Teleports out. Jazzykins with one onto DND. This looks to be 100 Thieves 8. Unless not really Evan has something in his bag. Unless J-Will has something in his bag. Does not.
Down.
The glow vault does not come through. Yugi finds a third. And they find the fourth. Yes, they can.
What a play.
Yugi has been all over the place this game. Smiles on their faces. Fist bumps coming in. 100 Thieves is feeling it now. The comeback is on.
Again, anything can happen in these defensive rounds, especially with Shopify Rebellion falling apart and going away from their strategy.
Yeah, the pressure has not been shown as heavily by Shopify Rebellion.
And again, 100 Thieves, a team that can punish a poor offensive strike from the other team.
They're definitely playing into their strengths, 100 Thieves. Tactical, slow gameplay. Information gathering is crucial for them.
Seems to be trying to predict the alt teleport.
Heavy presence towards B by 100 Thieves. That allows them to gather some information. Tell each other, hey guys, we're not pushing up their B main. It has to be an A push, but Yugi, meanwhile, is clearing out this A site. D&D with one onto Goovy. This is going to be a huge kill right here. Asphalt is ready for Yugi. Will Yugi clear it? Will they have the time? The Bucky comes in clutch for Asphalt. Yugi does not clear his corners. Shopify Rebellion 5-2 in terms of lives. Soon to be 11-8 in terms of round 4.
Yeah, and that could still be big though. Manages to get that Vandal and trade that shotgun away.
Huge pick. Jazzykins finds one onto Malum. Finds the second onto Evan. Asphalt meanwhile. Oh, a great turn from Jazzy. But J-Will one taps Jazzy just to end that great effort to securing that comeback. But Shopify Rebellion inching closer to the finish line, Jacob.
Again, yeah, they've started to get back to their roots, and they managed to retake this kill here.
Great effort from both sides that round. 22-13 for Jazzykins. Meanwhile, D&D rocking 28 frags to their name. Feels like both of these teams are just so evenly matched. It's hard to really tell who has the advantage. The Waylay ult coming in once again from D&D. J will finds one onto Jazzykins. That is the first domino for round number 12. They can't find that close range kill. Asphalt, though, able to take Phoenix out of his ult. Shopify Rebellion rotating over towards this A site.
Again, if they can push into this site with aggression, they could get that first pick and get this bomb down and turn this into a defensive game.
Information being gathered by Asphalt. Very interesting to see the duelist of Neon playing this flank watch. You would assume that they would want to be the front liner as Gooby takes out J-Will.
Again, maybe looking a bit too much because of that last round play she got.
Comes the flash from Evan. Finds it onto Mimikyu. They are trying to cross. Getting in through the door. Here comes Yugi trying to swing. Finds one onto Melum. Finds a second onto Evan. Ashfall trying to find two of their own. They do! What a great spray transfer from Asphalt.
There.
But it may be for naught.
30 seconds left.
And 2v1. They do not have bomb here.
Spike is down. 20 seconds left. 100 Thieves.
Could this be the dagger?
It's teed up for round number 9. 14 seconds left. They need to make something happen.
10
Neon.
seconds left.
Neon grenade coming in clutch right there, just to deny Asphalt that space. The time is going to run out. Yugi and Maple Cakes are going to save this out as 100 Thieves takes their 9th.
Seems like they are saving that gun here. It's not really worth that 2v1, especially with 7 seconds left and not knowing any intel whatsoever.
Yeah, no idea where those players are. No idea, what your buy looks like next round.
Again, sometimes with rounds to spare, you rather save that gun and save that weapon for the next round.
11-9 is our score. An absolute barn burner here on Lotus. Something we were expecting, Jacob. Definitely going to be an interesting match between these two teams. Some information being gathered once again by that Sova, Chungus, Razzie, able to find the op kill early,
from
but
behind though.
Yugi and Jazzy are just working together. Like a great tandem. D&D meanwhile is filling up the kill feed themselves.
One enemy remaining.
What a round.
Easily cleans up Shopify Rebellion. It is getting close. These two teams inching closer together. We are going to see some high level action to end this map off.
What do you think the difference maker is right now?
I mean, the difference maker has to be D&D. D&D has to find some more. I mean, they've been clearly leading the way for Shopify Rebellion, but their team has been lacking, right?
Yeah.
We know that. D&D needs to be careful with their picks. 30 kills so far for them. Not really Evan. 3 and 18. Stay with your team. Find something. Find any kind of trade opportunities. Maple Cakes. Nice kill onto D&D with the Killjoy turret. That is a huge tilter from Shopify Rebellion.
Yeah, we talked about earlier that turret is such a good place. Yogi seems to find two.
That is going to turn the ties for 100 Thieves. Find the rally. Asphalt onto Yugi from long range. Another kill from Asphalt onto Gooby now.
Enemy
Map
down.
being slowly but surely secured by 100 Thieves. A little bit of an overextension from Maple Cakes right there. That's going to leave Shopify Rebellion with a lot of space towards this C site, right? Mimikyu creeping towards A. Information gathered. Nobody has passed that wall. Meanwhile, Jazzykins creeping, ever so slightly through that defender's spawn. They need to find where these attackers are going.
Seems like this Neon is being extra cautious this round. Post the last round where they got picked right
30
away.
seconds left.
Spike is going down. 30 seconds left. Now, the onus is on 100 Thieves.
And let's see what Chungus can do with that. Oh, big buy for that for Chungus.
Time ticks down. Aware, possibly that one player is backside. Melum is there, ready with the Vandal in hand. Mimikyu going to molly them out. The paranoia comes in. Melum no idea where they could be. Information gathered now for 100 Thieves. Mimikyu finds the headshot onto Melum. Now it's all up to Asphalt. One tick down. Beautiful off shot from Jazzy. 11-11. It is tied.
Well, I got my answer. That op was worth the buy for them. As you can see, an incredible shot.
A huge sigh of relief. But it's not over. 100 Thieves still has to win these last 2 rounds. They cannot let this game go into overtime.
Again, with that site flip being so detrimental for them earlier. You know, both teams have been playing incredible. Seems like Shopify have gone away from their strategy.
Yeah.
It's not working out for them.
They have not put the pressure on the 100 Thieves as much as they had early on in this half.
It's like they're playing a bit more cautious about this turret this round.
Great pick though from D&D to open up round number 23, and Asphalt finds the op shot onto Jazzy. The duel of the ops decided early on in round number 23. A lot of open space towards the C site. The spike is heading in.
Seems like Govey managed to turn away from his flank watch. Could have had 2 picks there.
Yoru clone is going to keep them a little bit wary of what is going down on this C site. 100 Thieves have to understand that they have too much space to clear. The ult's coming in from Melum. Trying to find any information, just barely going to miss it. Yugi trying to find all of their positions for this dimensional drift. Here they come. Finds one onto D&D, unable to find a second. Not really Evan with the refrag. Melum finds Goovy. It is all left to Maple Cakes.
That Killjoy ult being crucial here.
They are detained. All 3 players detained. Finds one onto Melum. Evan in the corner. Stuck. Not enough time. Asphalt makes it 12.
Again, you gotta push when you use that Killjoy ult. I think we've seen about 3 Killjoy ults that have just not worked out.
Yeah, Maple found one right there, but just weren't too aggressive enough to get around that corner. If they found Evan, that gives too much space. We can see them running it down. Evan's locked up right there. If you swung that, that's a ton of time to get at least 1 tick onto the spike.
Yeah, and you should know he's there too.
Yeah, I mean, you have that information, right? It says
You did.
3 players detained. You know that they are nearby. That puts Shopify Rebellion onto match point, onto tournament point.
Very aggressive here.
Great strategy. Gets a couple shots off. And just like that, Asphalt is going to take Jazzy down in potentially the last round for 100 Thieves. They are still aggressing towards this A site. But the spike creeping towards C.
You know, the speed tried to hit a big rotate. It seems like no one's there. No one's there to respond. They've overcommitted to A site.
Once again, overcommitting. That seems to be the theme of the day for them. Overcommitting into these lanes, into these bigger team fights. Meanwhile, Shopify Rebellion is going to have a C site for free. And now, panic sets in for 100 Thieves. They know it's on C, but can they get there in time to make it worth it? Shopify Rebellion.
Maybe a Neon engagement here. Too fast though. Manages to get around.
Just gets out of Mimikyu's sightline.
Get that off being very dangerous here. Almost takes his head off. 1. DND. 2 for DND. What a play.
All of you now tournament point. Finds a second onto not really Evan. 3rd on the mound, but DND cleans it up. And just like that, Shopify Rebellion take the win. Jazzykins and 100 Thieves cannot find a way through Shopify Rebellion's absolutely beautiful tournament run. Great stuff we saw in that match, Jacob.
An amazing match. And, you know, you got to give it to both teams, you know. They both used their, like, signature strategies, as we called it out. You know, Shopify being that aggressive, fragging squad, and 100 Thieves being that defensive demon in this game.
Yeah, seems like their offense was too overwhelming for 100 Thieves. They just could not find their way through the Great Wall of Shopify Rebellion.
Again, who do you think were the most crucial players in this game?
I mean, D&D for sure. He was the one that just won them this game, really. They were truly dominant on all facets of the game. But Jacob, that is it for us here at the desk. We are going to send it back over to our analysts and our hosts, Matthias, Noah, and Tommaso. Take it away, guys.
Absolutely amazing game, so evenly matched. Came right down to the wire, even though in the beginning, 100 Thieves was off to a terrible start. I mean, people were getting domed left and right and pistol, and they already had a loss streak right out of the get-go.
I mean, yeah, it was a lot of back and forth in that match. We saw in the first half of the game, SR just dominating, taking over the plane, and then 100 Thieves in that second, leading into the second half, they started to get their momentum back, and there was a shining light. There was hope there, but SR dominated. They just came through.
I think where the domination really, truly started to show was when Maple Cakes got that 3K over on B site. It was absolutely brutal to watch. It was just lasering them all down. I mean, I talked with Maple Cakes before this game started, and he wasn't very confident. He told me his goal was to not be the bottom frag, and I think he cleared that like pretty well. I don't know. What do you think, Tommaso?
Yeah, I agree. Like Maple Cake actually like played a really good game, to be honest. Like I don't know why he was not confident. Like I think he really.
I think it was just nerves because it was
Yeah.
such a big match going in.
Yeah, I agree. Like I understand. Like sometimes you can be nervous in like grand final in a competition like this, but like you gotta be confident. Like you're playing in such like a great team. You have such a great teammates. You gotta be confident.
For sure. And I gotta say, it wasn't looking very good for 100 Thieves. I mean, they were down 2 rounds. I think it was around like 5-7. It really started to cement their lead, and then it kept slipping away when the next half came through. I mean, 100 Thieves fought back around like round 15. I think it was 10-5 at that point.
Yeah.
They just really took that first half with 3 rounds in a row. I think 5 rounds was the total win streak.
Yeah.
But they managed to fight back, get a 3-win streak, and start to feel more even around the 8-10 mark.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I mean, Shopify was really strong in the first half. Like, I think they were up 5-1 in round 6, and I honestly thought it was already over for 100 Thieves, but they managed to come back, and then again SR got again like so many games, like so many rounds, and again 100 Thieves came back, but in the end, as Shopify I think they were more consistent probably.
I mean, they definitely were across the board. I mean, we can take a look at the team stats now to see how consistent these teams were, because I definitely felt that 100 Thieves had that star player in Jazzykins and Yugi. They were the star players, but I don't mean a dog on anybody, but Goov did not really carry his weight there in that game.
And neither did Evan on SR, 4-20. That is a tough KD ratio, but as you were saying, you could tell there were stars on 100 Thieves. I just don't think when it came to team comp, they had what it takes. SR had a very well-rounded comp. They had their 2 duelists. They had 2 initiators for that intel, which is very important, and a control. And especially on a map like Lotus, where it's so large, you're going to need that intel. You want to know where everyone is, right? 100 Thieves, they didn't have any initiators. Their only intel was on defense with Killjoy if there was a turret or an alarm bot.
And I gotta say, no offense to Maple Cakes, but there's one moment that really stood out to me. It was pretty recent. It was one of the later rounds. It was when he had the Killjoy ult down on the field. Detained 3 players, but I think the panic of the clutch factor, he just didn't play aggressively enough, and he missed out on potentially a game-changing round.
Yeah, I'm glad that the spectators didn't see my face after that play, because I was honestly kind of mad at him. Like, you're losing. It's probably like you're in the final rounds, so you gotta risk the play and go like run it down, like run to the enemies.
And you know who was running it down the entire time and finding success was D&D, our MVP for the game. I mean, Noah, what more can you say about this guy?
Not much. I mean, that performance just left me speechless. Like 34 kills, 17 deaths, 3 assists, an average combat score of 372. That's got to be a record.
I think so. I mean, when you're up against a rival like Jazzykins, you got to bring out a beast like D&D to match it. And I think he just scales to whatever you throw at him.
Yeah, the D&D has also like had so many like good moments, good rounds. I think he had around like 4 or 5 triple kills.
think you're right,
So he played like a crazy grand final. Shout out to him and deserved MVP.
I mean, we don't just got to shout him out. We can talk to him. We got an interview with the man himself down there on the stage. Hello, D&D. How are you doing? What are you thinking right now?
Hey guys, well look, what I'm thinking is that was a hard-fought battle. We trained a while for this, and I'm just glad that we got to come out on top. So yeah.
And what do you think was the most important round for your team? I mean, you guys were pretty dominant throughout, but it did slip at some points. What do you
Yeah.
think was the key points?
As you know, we have a couple of rookies on our team. I think the most important round of our team was when we actually went for the knife kill. These rookies got to know that at the end of the day, we're here to have fun. And it can't always be super serious. So when I took out the knife and went for the knife kill, I think it put a precedent that, hey guys, I know it's a grand final. We worked really hard for this, but we can have some fun too.
That's amazing. I love the mentality there. I love bringing the good vibes to these games. What was one thing that kept you guys going, even when 100 Thieves was starting to climb up, closing that gap?
Yeah, look, we always knew that 100 Thieves, they weren't going to give it to us. They're established org, right? They've been a team for a while. And when they start coming back on us, we just looked at each other and, hey guys, we've practiced this before. We've been a team for a while. And I know we all really want to win, so we just took a deep breath. And like I said, it's not super serious. Let's have some fun. I think we got grounded, and then we started taking the game back into our hands.
Amazing.
So, I mean, D&D, like you said, you have a bunch of rookies. So, was it the plan, like the initial plan, that you would have to carry this match, or was just like a really good game for you?
No, it was just a really good game for me. I mean, these rookies come, they're 17, 16 years old. They're too fast for me, but sometimes when the lights are on, they get a little scared, a little nervous. It's their first time in a grand final. But, I just led with experience, and I had a really good game, and they really helped me do that. But no, the plan was not for me to carry at all. The plan was for them to, try to step up. I mean, like I said, maybe the lights were a little too bright, but it's okay because I took home this one for today.
That sounds great, man. I got one final question for you.
Sure.
What was going through your mind when half your team got detained in that KJ ult?
I
Right at
couldn't-
that clutch moment.
What was the cage's name? Maple Cakes?
Yeah, Maple Cakes, yeah.
I couldn't believe the play he made. Honestly, I think it was close game, right? It was near the final rounds. He's got to go for something there. He has to try to win the game. He could have finished the comeback right there. I mean, that would have been a devastating round for us to lose. It was a 4v1. He got a bunch of us in the ult, and he didn't go for a play. And, I think that's one of the mistakes that we capitalized and won the game off of.
That's great, man. I mean, luck was on your side. Everything looked great. Thanks so much for the interview, man.
Oh, of course, man.
Good luck in your next few matches.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Yeah, man. What a guy, man.
What a guy.
D&D.
What a
D&D.
guy.
I mean, you said he was the big papa.
My
He's
daddy,
out here
bro.
proving it.
My daddy.
Yes. Really
What
high
a game,
performer.
though. What a game.
Really high performer there. I mean, there's got to be at least several highlights.
Oh, so many.
So many.
There's got to be so many. But, before we get into D&D's accomplishments, let's just keep thinking about what happened in that game. I mean, I feel like D&D didn't really come online until the second half when there's some pushback. There's a lot of pushback, right, by Shopify, or no, by 100 Thieves around that halfway point. I feel like that's when D&D started to lock in. Would you agree, Tommaso?
Oh, yeah, sure. I think that, as we said earlier, in the first half, they were 100 Thieves started coming back after they went down 4 rounds, and I think D&D was so mad. He wanted the win so badly. He started locked in, and thanks to him, they won. Again, they went up 5 rounds. I think that was the key moment for this win for Shopify.
So we locked into that dad strength, you know. It's carrying the groceries, you know. The children are under the car. He lifts it up, you know, and saves the whole team, you know.
Definitely a pillar for that team, 100%.
Sure. But let's take a look at some of these highlights, right? No, you're the
I mean, yeah,
resident
we've
expert
got
here.
plenty that we're going to go through today, so let's just take a quick stop. I mean, let's just stop right here for a moment and just analyze what went on. D&D already just face-checking a peak. I mean, you'll see it up here, but let's just resume the clip and keep going. Let's just see what else he could do. There was a lot of havoc that he wrecked. Another pick right there. He's very aware of his surroundings. Now let's take a pause again. As you can see, very high tense situation. I mean, 3v1. There's not much you think he could do.
Look at the sight lines he's facing
Yeah,
here. I mean,
like, look,
there's like three
there's
angles he's pushing.
Angle here, angle there. Somebody could come from this
On the
side.
left,
Even
too.
up
Left as
here
well.
on the
Yeah.
ledge. A lot of possibilities. But let's keep going here. And you see, I mean, he's checking them with caution and pause.
Ooh.
You notice, like, that's just it. Let's take another, just stop for a moment. Like, that was fast. Can we rewind that?
Can we?
Can we?
Can
Like
we?
he
Yeah,
did
we
himself.
can.
Look at that. Like, that's just how fast D&D is moving. He is so good with his movement on Wale. He just knows what he's doing, where to be at the right time. He knows when to wait. And, like, even here, you just see so much. Like, the processing time is amazing. And that with Wale's fast playstyle, it just works perfectly for D&D.
I mean, that's like old Jet back in the day. You have so many dashes, so much movement, and you have that like tracer recall from Overwatch. It's absolutely brutal. It's a hard champ to play against, especially when it's piloted by someone like D&D.
Yeah, I mean, I think he played it perfectly. To be honest, I haven't seen any like bad moments in his gameplay. It was so perfect. I think like is even MVP probably it is like the most deserved in this tournament.
I know that was one of the most perfect games of Valorant I've had the joy of watching in a long time. But that's all we have for today. That was the VCT but not 100 Thieves versus Shopify. Shopify taking it all the way home. D&D carrying the team on their backs. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and we'll see you again soon.